Andy, where are the Mets when it comes to the DH market at the moment?
Well, the problem for the Mets has been that the price point that these guys are signing at, the $13 million, or Rhys Hoskins was $17 million, that's not fitting what the Mets want to spend for the rest of the offseason, period, let alone on one position. Especially after signing Ottavino, they're probably looking at $5-ish million more that they want to spend. So that's really kind of out of whack with what they want to do. And an important thing to keep in mind with where the Mets are financially is because they've crossed that final luxury tax, the Cohen tax threshold. They're paying a penalty of 110% on every dollar.
That is steep.
So you may think Justin Turner is worth 13, but is he like a $30 million player
right.
practically? So that's something that the Mets are weighing too. Now, having said all that, if somehow we get closer to spring training and a Jorge Soler or a Brandon Belt, who is someone who I'm kind of keeping a little bit of an eye on, or JD Martinez finds himself needing to dramatically lower his price, then maybe we're talking about the Mets signing a DH. But really pointed toward right now their desire to see Mark Vientos play. But they're not closing the door. It'd be stupid to close the door at this point because there's still a lot of guys out there, but someone's price would have to come way down.
And one of the things we know, and you've talked about it quite a bit, they want to see what Mark Vientos can do, getting a lot of at-bats. Jim, what do you think? Should the Mets be open to adding a DH moving forward?
Well, listen, I think they have to. I've been saying this most of the winter. And, I think when you look at the overall group, and listen, they had like 5 positions that were below average, but the 3 worst were third base, right field, and DH. And the easiest fix right now in the less expensive risk is, the less expensive option is at the DH spot. Now, JD Martinez may be out of their price range, talking about where Andy says the money is, where they want to spend. Same thing with Soler, at least. Those guys are both going to be around $19, $20 million. But Brandon Belt, I like Brandon Belt a lot. He had a really solid season. He had an injury that kept him out for a period of time, but he had an 890 OPS. He crushes right-handers, not very good against lefties. So I think when you look at the division, which is another way to look at it, there's, I think, 2 starters in each of the divisional rivals that you're going to be playing against. That factors into it. Belt didn't hit lefties very well, but the price tag is right. It's $8 million for now. I think that price may come down even more. You could play first base if you need them to. I would focus on him. Joey Votto, I think, is a bit of a leap right now. He's still looking at north of $10 million. But I think if they were to upgrade into a DH spot, one of those last 2 guys there would be a really good option and wouldn't cost you the dollars, upwards of where JD Martinez is right now.
I mean, I know what guys are thinking of at home that are watching this, right? They're saying, why do they keep talking about price? Right. Don't we have a billionaire owner? And here these guys are balking at, $15 million contracts for a year. I think that, people are probably wondering what the heck's going on. This is such an obvious need for the Mets, and yet we're talking about nickel and diming. You're seeing it the players at the lower end of that scale with Votto and Belt. Listen, Cohen and Stearns, to some degree, have been telegraphing what this team is going to look like in 2024. They're really entering a sort of transition and, I'll stress here, evaluation phase. I mean, we're talking about a GM in the first year at the job. He hasn't seen these guys in action, basically. They have plenty of evaluations on paper and potentially what they are. But I think they want to give some people a chance here. And I think that said, you get Vientos in there, some DH at-bats. You rotate it through the rest of the lineup to get guys off their feet rather than playing the position that day. So maybe that's something they want to leave open and do more evaluation.
Yeah, that's interesting. How many times have I asked you over the course of the last couple of weeks, when are they signing JD Martinez?
You have been asking.
And you calm me down, right?
I have been. Was it calming you down, talking you off a ledge? How exactly would we portray it?
Something along those lines.